What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and let's be completely honest, towards the end of every season, it gets a little bit stale in Fortnite because there doesn't really feel like there's much to do. I mean, you've already done all your challenges, you've unlocked what you want to unlock, you've done everything there is to explore, and the only thing there really is left to do is maybe play some creative, maybe play more Save the World, or just play the generic Battle Royale that you've been playing for the entirety of that season without many changes. Well, that is why in recent seasons, Epic Games introduced the Wild Weeks system. Basically a system towards the end of the season where each week there would be a different gimmick, whether it's like this season where we had the trick shot week, or whether it's like, previous seasons where we've had bargain bin weeks where everything's discounted. They do a lot when it comes to just making sure the game has a little bit of refreshing elements towards the very end of its life cycle for that specific season, and that's no exception to Chapter 3 Season 2, because as we've already seen with the trick shot week and now the sideways showdown week, there's a lot of Wild Weeks Epic Games started pushing on us towards the very end of the season just to mix up what's on the island and allow us to have a little bit more fun as we're getting bored of the generic everyday loot pull in Fortnite. So in today's YouTube video, I'll be quickly recapping what the Sideways Showdown week was and then talking about the next two upcoming Wild Weeks. Firstly, the Sideways Wild Week released with the V20.40 downtime update, and with it came the Sideways Rifle and Sideways Minigun returning to the Fortnite Island. Now, there was a little bit of a twist with this, because instead of actually using cube monster parts in order to actually upgrade these weapons, instead you had to take them to an upgrade bench and spend bars, because that whole entire crafting system when it came to cube monster parts just wasn't here with it at all, and we didn't even have any of the cube monsters on the Fortnite Island. So the most logical explanation on why we'd have to upgrade it at a bench is just because it's the only actual way with the current loot pool of this season. Overall though, it was a pretty nice little Wild Week that is currently ongoing, and it allowed you to get some free XP. However, for the next Wild Week, we will see these two items get revaulted, and instead we will see the following items get unvaulted. And those two items are the Railgun and the Recon Scanner. You can see all the challenges on screen, but that's right, we have the Railgun Recon Wild Week coming up very soon. Now, something interesting I want to mention about the questline right before we talk about anything else is that the two bottom challenges, which is the hidden opponent with a Recon Scanner grenade and to collect a Recon gun and a Railgun in the exact same match, are replacement challenges. This means they won't be enabled right when the Wild Week goes live, but in case another one of the higher up challenges have an issue, they'll go ahead and disable the buggy challenge and enable one of these easier challenges to do. But yeah, basically we're going to be seeing the Railgun and the Recon Scanner return to the Fortnite Island, and with it, the following challenges are a little bit of a stage-like challenge system. So firstly, for the first set of stages, we have to deal damage to opponents with a Railgun in 3 different stages. The first stage is only 500 damage, the second stage is 2,500 damage, and then the third stage is 10,000 damage. Each stage that you complete will give you a little bit more XP, and I do believe that once you complete stage 3, since it's the final stage of those and the hardest to complete, it actually gives you more XP than the previous 2 stages of it. On top of that, we also have another 3-stage challenge set, which is to mark enemy players using a Recon Scanner. Stage 1 can be completed by marking 5 enemy players with a Recon Scanner, Stage 2 by marking 25, and then Stage 3 by marking a whopping 100 players with a Recon Scanner. Our standalone challenges for this Wild Week are the following: get a headshot with a Railgun, which is pretty simple, I mean anyone can practically do that. Deal damage from 50 or more meters away with the Railgun, which seems pretty easy considering the Railgun's range and just how active it is when it comes to like being 100% accurate. On top of that, you have to deal damage to an opponent within 30 seconds of scanning them. This will require you to deal 500 damage, but this does mean that you can scan them with the Recon Scanner and then actually attack them with any weapon you actually want to. And because of the fact that it requires 500 damage, you're going to have to actually scan multiple enemies and deal damage to them, because there's no real logical way, unless you keep reviving someone somehow, to keep dealing over 200 damage maximum to that person, maybe even 300. And with that said, that is all the challenges for week 2, which is the Railgun Recon Quest week, and it's just, an interesting little week to mix up the loot pool a little bit more. Now, they do have a few challenges in here that they just decided not to activate at all, and I thought I'd bring it up just because it was kind of funny. So one of the original challenges for the Railgun Recon Scanner Wild Week was going to be to get 3 seconds of airtime in an IO sedan. It's just an interesting challenge that I wonder why it was even a part of this Wild Week to begin with. Maybe they had a different different theme beforehand. But with that said, it's time to talk about the final Wild Week for Chapter 3 Season 2, which is none other than Bargain Bin Week. You can see all the challenges on screen right now, and something I want to mention before we even go in more detail about what's special about Bargain Bin Week is the following. The following two challenges are going to be replacement challenges, just like the last week had, where, you know, if there's a bug, these get enabled and the bugged ones get disabled. Those two challenges are 1, to upgrade 3 weapons at an upgrade bench, and 2, to purchase an exotic weapon from a character. So those won't be enabled right away, but maybe if one of the other ones have an issue, we could see those. Anyways, with that said, if you're unaware of what the Bargain Bin Week even is, I think it's pretty simple to explain. Basically, all services that require you to spend bars will be discounted, and then all the challenges are basically just spin your bars, collect bars, do stuff with your bars, because guess what, people? They reset at the start of every single season. Now, firstly, we have a 5-stage challenge here, which is just to spin bars. Stage 1 is completed at 500 bars spent, Stage 2 is completed at 1,000 bars spent, Stage 3 is completed at 2,000 bars spent, Stage 4 is completed at 3,000 bars spent, and finally at Stage 5 you have to spend a total of 5,000 bars in order to have completed all 5 stages and gained all of the free XP. Now for these side little, you know, like one-off challenges, we have to purchase a weapon of rare rarity or higher, we have to open 5 cash registers all throughout the Fortnite island, and then simply put, purchase 3 items from any vending machine on the Fortnite island, which makes me think that you could just purchase like some ammo 3 times and get done with the challenge super simply. But yeah, this is what we have remaining for the rest of the season. Just a lot of little challenges, a lot of little gimmicks going on in order to make the game feel a little bit more fresh as we lead up to the live event towards the end of the season. Anyways, with that said, my name's FireMonkey. If you found this video informative, consider to subscribe and support the content I create, and I'll catch you champs and champettes tomorrow with another YouTube video. Peace out.